how the hell are we going to make money when we are in Sri Lanka? So this.
Investing on hotels, retreats, the villas and all. But one thing I should tell and I should give one piece of advice for them. Tourism in Sri Lanka, they're more primarily focusing on three A's, like sun, sand, sea. Spiritual, we can practice the cultural and spiritual tourism. Sadly, we don't practice it as the other countries. For example, if you compare with Thailand, now Thailand, the originator of Ayurveda from India. But we have our own indigenous medicine. In Sinhala, we call Helaveda. People who are living abroad, what they can do is they can come over here and they can start the luxury aged care home properly. You have to do a market research and proper background analysis, and then you know what to offer and what not to offer with the Sri Lankan cultures.
Sri Lanka has a big collection of originally plant-based food, yeah? But it's not marketed properly. Yeah. When I say Tamil diaspora, I mean the diaspora word is associated negatively, unfortunately, in Sri Lanka. But they are just like us, Sri Lankans who went abroad for unfortunate reasons. They want to come back and move on.
Yes, when you spend this much of money or when you purchase our product, there's a behind story. We will help the women empowerment or the community empowerment, and we are helping underprivileged children to have good quality education. And as I could see, the most potential investment option right now is Colombo Stock Exchange. Potential youth, they are getting the consultation and proper guidance and the support from the current government. That is one positive thing I can say. And
hey guys. When I started this channel, I made a promise that not only sharing stories of expats or returned Sri Lankans, but also I'm going to give you guidance and ideas and tips and tricks about starting a business in Sri Lanka. So I'm going to fulfill that promise today. Today I have Wikasitha Weerasinghe, who is a brand strategist and a marketing consultant based in Sri Lanka, talk about what returning Sri Lankans or expats can expect in terms of business setup and understanding the market, the demanding markets that we have in Sri Lanka right now, and so on. So let's welcome him and learn from him. Let's go. Hi Wikasitha, welcome to this episode. I'm so thrilled to have you here. First, I must say, I'm a big fan of you. I watched so many podcasts where you participated, and I admire the way the ideas flow through your words. So I just want to ask, like, how does it happen? What are your qualifications? Tell us about yourself.
Well, first and foremost, thank you very much for having me here, Lena. And it's quite interesting that you are a fan of our YouTube channel. We share most of things generously and openly for the small and medium entrepreneurs, especially who are people who are seeking to get their foot into their business or the as an entrepreneur. So it doesn't mean that we are focusing only the Sri Lankans, even the expatriate community, Sri Lankan expat community like yours. So, well, I actually am more into the brand marketing. I work as a professional brand strategist and marketing consultant for the few organizations, and I work with agencies as well, the B2B perspective. And then I directly offer my services for the entrepreneurs and share my thoughts. And also, I'm getting myself partnered with for the strategic planning and all the market research, strategic planning, and the corporate communication. So those are the core areas of mine.
Can you take us through your qualifications, your educational qualifications to become a brand strategist?
Yes. I have studied at Coventry University, UK, and that is the marketing specialized degree. And then a national diploma in international marketing, that is EdXL UK. And also I have studied CIMA, that's the foundation level, and so that was a bit of touching the financial, the management accountancy. And also I'm a member of Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing. That is the professional body for marketers in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, okay, impressive. Okay, now let's jump into the concept of the video, Wikasitha. Now, there are many Sri Lankans like me who live abroad and who are just toying with the idea of coming back home for many different reasons. Yeah. Now, we have so many questions and doubts, especially if we have a family. But the most important question, the mother of all questions, is how the hell are we going to make money when we are in Sri Lanka? So this is where you come in. And can you just take us through, like, what are the business opportunities we will have or investment pathways? Yeah, please go for it.
Well, comparatively, Sri Lanka, there are few industries in Sri Lanka. There's a boom. I mean, there's a significant growth in tourist arrivals to Sri Lanka. Now, for example, the government is expecting almost 3 million tourist footfall for the year of 2025, 2025, and
Mm.
they're aiming to generate like 5 billion US dollar in revenue. So it was
Mm-hmm.
last year 2.1 million, if my memory serves right, for the I mean the footfall of the 2024, the tourist footfall.
Mm-hmm.
So even, I mean, if you take like past few months or the past few weeks, we have achieved many milestones, or we have won many accolades in regarding to the with regard to the tourism sector, right?
Mm-hmm.
And very recently, well, Sri Lanka recognized as the most family-friendly country for
Mm.
2025,
Yeah, I've seen that.
securing the top spot in a prestigious ranking by Condé Nast Traveler. Yes, and that is
Mm-hmm.
a UK institution. So there are
Mm-hmm.
many more opportunities with that, and since we have been positioned as the top and the best, most most
Desired island.
the potential, exactly, and
Mm.
also the tourist friendly destination. Right.
Mm.
So mainly, if you could now, for example, now people like you all who are living in the abroad and who are seeking to get their foot into Sri Lanka and start their own business. So the most, I mean, the most crucial and the most suitable opportunity, as I could see right now by analyzing the external factors, is tourism. There's a boom in
Mm.
tourism, as you see. So
Mm-hmm.
now everyone, most of people, they are, this they are investing on hotels, retreats, the villas and all. But one thing
Mm.
I should tell, and I should give one piece of advice for them: do not destroy the nature, and you should practice the sustainable tourism, or eco-friendly tourism, because
That's the
most of people,
future.
they are destroying the, yes, deforestation and all. They are
Mm.
destroying the beauty of this paradise or the tropical
Mm.
island. It's a small
Mm.
island, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the most of tourists, they are not flocking into Sri Lanka to have the luxury life, right? What they want is they want to mingle, or they want to mix up with the nature.
Yes.
You know, in tourism in Sri Lanka, they're more primarily focusing on trees like sun, sand, sea. So all
Mm.
part of the nature, right? So here, what I could see as the vacuum, the very rarely people tap this market, the experiential
Mm.
tourism. That is like letting the customer or letting the tourist to experience your culture,
Mm.
or your livelihood, right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
for example, now we are an agriculture-based the country. That is one of our
Mm.
main income sources in-house, right?
Mm.
So the
Mm-hmm.
farming, there are good enough paddy fields, right? And so what we can do is, now I have heard that most of tourist destinations like Norway and all, Switzerland, Norway, Denmark, New Zealand, what they do is they are letting their tourists to experience their main industry, or they are letting they are creating a platform to get involved with their production process. Now, for example, in New
Mm.
Zealand, the tourists have to pay some amount for the private sector or the government and take part of the production process of farm, right?
Mm.
Or any agriculture based the industry, right? So
Mm.
likewise in
Mm-hmm.
Sri Lanka, there are good enough and there are much more paddy field, and that you can create a platform for foreigners or the tourists to get involved with the harvesting process, traditions and
Mm.
rituals
Mm-hmm.
for the harvesting process, where we
Mm.
follow. We have got a rich tradition, and even tea
Mm.
estates, right? We are the
Yeah.
second. We were the second largest tea exporter, but now we have gone to three. Sadly, a
Mm.
third place, because India has taken over us.
Yeah, today, just now
Today
I
only
saw
I got the,
India has
yes, yes,
taken.
yes. So we have got many, I mean, very attractive tea states, especially in up country. There are high grown tea, and as well as the down south area, there's a low grown tea as well. There are tea
Mm.
states, and what we can do is we can promote the tea plucking and harvesting process for the foreigners, right? And there are
Mm.
factories as well. They are happily getting involved with those production process, from the
Mm.
harvest to the production, right? They are willing to
Mm-hmm.
pay any amount of money, because they can't get that experience from other places.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
rarely they get such experience. They can't experience it from Denmark, Switzerland, Russia, Australia. They don't have this kind of tea lush greenery tea states, right? And
Mm.
also the rubber crop extracts, tapping rubber trees to collect latex and all. So what we can do is we can have some kind of a model to get the tourists or accommodate tourists on the rubber states with a small villa or a trade for them to feel how the rubber production process. I mean, for them to witness how the rubber production process goes on. So, and
Mm.
likewise, cinnamon, the world's best cinnamon provided by the Ceylon, the Sri Lanka,
Mm.
Ceylon
Yeah, it's
cinnamon.
native to
Right,
us.
exactly. It has position in a, distinctive place, right? The cinnamon, Ceylon cinnamon. They are also harvesting the inner bark of the cinnamon trees and peeling off the outer bark, drying the
Mm.
inner bark, and then shaping and packaging. You can get
Mm-hmm.
this tourist involved with the production process from the harvesting to the packaging, right?
Mm.
And they are
Mm.
very. I'm sure they have got the burning desire to experience this or to witness this, right?
Mm. Mm.
And the next part. Sri Lanka also positioned as one of the best destination to witness Buddhism, right?
Oh.
And we have got this cultural and spiritual. We can practice the cultural and spiritual tourism. Sadly, we don't practice it as the other countries. For example, if you are compare with Thailand, now Thailand they are also the known as the Buddhist country, right? What they do is they promote the
Mm.
temporary monkhood. Most of foreigners
Mm.
who are going to hustle bustle life, they are having hectic schedules, tight schedules in their daily life. They would really
Mm.
like to get away from their home countries or towns and practice meditation, right?
Mm-hmm.
To enhance or to practice the inner peace, right?
Mm.
So the Thailand, what they do is they offer them the temporary monkhood, and you have to pay for it, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
can stay at the monasteries, one of their monasteries and all, so they can practice meditation under the instructor or a teacher or a mentor. Uh, so individuals to experience Buddhism and gain merit, so they can get them themselves educated the Buddhism, and they can go
Mm.
in deep down about Buddhism teachings and all. They can practice it then and there, and then they
Mm.
gain merit and all. So and the monasteries to practice and learn about monastic life and Buddhism, what we call in Sinhala
Mm-hmm.
Len Vihara,
Mm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
so they can practice it from the deep forest and all. So,
Mm.
and there's another sector, the medical tourism.
Mm.
The Ayurvedic
Ayurveda.
known as yes, and that is the originator of Ayurveda from India. But we
Mm.
have our own indigenous medicine. In Sinhala, we call
Mm.
Helaveda, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is unique for us, right?
Mm.
None of the other countries they are not having the Helavedakam. Even India doesn't have India's Helavedakam. India's indigenous medicine is Ayurvedic. So we have
Mm.
got the Ayurvedic from India, right?
Mm.
So what we have done is now we have mixed our Ayurvedic and indigenous medicine and offer the unique type of medical experience or the treatment for the patients, right?
Mm.
And
Mm.
we can letting tourists to get involved the treatment process and experience the well-being or the wellness of these treatments and all. So we can practice the holistic wellness medical treatments for the tourists, and
Mm-hmm.
also letting them to involve with the treatments, offering treatments for others, or assisting the indigenous doctors, the
Mm.
Ayurvedic doctors in Sri Lanka, right? And that
Mm-hmm.
is, or else if you can have a educational, the short-term or crash courses for them to practice Ayurvedic medicine or the indigenous medicine, and
Mm.
then our traditional and cultural events, experiencing the rich tradition of beliefs. That there are now some says this now this is an ancient this thing. This though the Sri Lankan is and the Sri Lanka is a small island. The cultural wise, it's really diversified. You
Yeah.
can't witness the culture in northern from the southern,
Yeah.
right? Those two are I mean, the complete different cultures, and they speak different languages. They believe different religions, or they have different faiths and all. So, and then when you go to up country, that is a different this thing. And
Mm.
both are Sinhalese. The up country Sinhalese and southern Sri Lankans are they have different sets of opinions, attitudes, the behaviors and all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that. I'm
Even the
not
food is
comparatively saying
different.
exactly. They are dancing cultures and everything. You call this upcountry dancing, and then what we call in Sinhala Udarata Nartane Saha Pahatarata Nartane. So
Mm.
those two are the different arts. And when you go to Ambalangoda, you have this Rukada. puppets,
Mask.
right?
Yeah.
Mask and traditional mask, which I could see right now from your background as well.
Oh, yes. My
Uh,
favorite one.
yeah. Yeah. So what we can do is we can mix them up with the tourism sector. If
Mm,
you are good at, if you are from those coastal bit like Ambalangoda, Hikkado, so there are traditions that mix with your cultures, your geographical
mm,
area. So if you come from the upcountry, though you are you are belong you belong to expatriate community of Sri Lanka. Now, when you come to here, now you have your roots in Sri Lanka, in your hometown. So you mix it up with your the tourism sector, and then you
mm,
can offer some unique kind of experience for your for the tourists.
mm, mm,
So, and there's another this thing, another news I have come across recently, Lena, that the population of Sri Lanka experiencing a notable population decline with a
mm,
significant drop in birth rates and a
mm,
rise in death and immigration, right? Leading to a decrease in the average annual population. So there's
mm,
trends show a decline in marriage rates as well, and an
mm,
increase in the proportion of never married individuals and people who are living together,
mm,
particularly among younger demographics. So
mm,
this is more in the young now due to few factors, social pressures, and economic concerns. Recently,
mm,
we have gone through the economic crisis and then the post-COVID situation and all, and due
mm,
to this the economic crisis and downturns, most of people, the younger generation left the country. That is not for the permanent resident. Yes, some part already gone for the permanent resident, asking for the PRs and all. They are seeking the PR or the citizenship, and some have gone for the jobs like
mm,
the Korea, Middle East countries and all. So most
mm,
of younger generation, they are busy with earning some money and they are trying to themselves to get settled in the life, right?
mm,
So they
mm.
are not available
In
in
my
Sri
words,
Lanka.
I would say they're wasting the best time of their life abroad. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, and there's an opportunity from this now. Most of people, the younger generation, they are missing their family life. They are not
Mm,
concerning of getting married, right? So that is
mm,
why the population has gone down drastically, and the marriage rates have gone a steep slope in the marriage rates. So it's comparing to last 5 years now. 5 years ago, it was like more than I mean, almost there's a gap of almost 200,000, right? Now it has
mm,
drastically dropped the marriage. So end of the day, you are on your own, right? When you
mm,
become a senior citizen, right?
mm.
What I can suggest you is now, if somebody wants to have you experienced about this? Have you seen in most of Western countries or the Europe countries, the luxury aged care home?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Widely
Yes. Now
available.
Sri
Yeah.
Lanka doesn't. Yes, Sri Lanka doesn't have it. I mean, see, though there are few players, they are not practicing it properly or not up to the
Mm,
standard. So what they can do
mm-hmm,
is, all the people who are living abroad, what they can do is they can come over here and they can start the luxury aged care home properly. You have to do a market
mm.
research and proper background analysis, and then you know what to offer and what not to offer with the Sri Lankan cultures. So then you can have this luxury aged care home because most of
Not
single
only
or
for Sri
unmarried
Lankans, we can also attract
even for
expat
tourists,
retirees. Yeah.
as well as the tourists. Yeah, now,
Mm,
since we have named as the most family-friendly country,
mm,
now there's a personally known friend of mine. What he does is now, Lena, he built houses for the foreigners. Now,
mm,
English old couples, senior citizens, they want to
mm-hmm,
come over Sri Lanka and stay their latter part, right?
mm, mm,
Uh, Most of them are 65 plus, the English, the US citizens and all, they all
mm,
expect the foreigners, right? So my friend now he has his own construction company. He built houses according to their own their country's the architectural designs, like US couple.
mm,
Okay, then
mm,
he will he offers a tailor-made
mm,
consultation and
mm,
construction services. So likewise, we can have the aged care, luxury aged care villas, and then the aged care centers or aged care home, the luxury type, right?
mm, mm,
It's kind of a holistic centers. So that
mm,
goes beyond the basic of good residential care and nursing care to provide an environment where every need is met with a touch of class. So it is
mm,
a premium aged care home.
mm,
So these are
mm,
main opportunities as I could see with these two the trends, the tourism
Mm.
and then the drop in the population and the marriage rates in Sri
Hmm.
Lanka.
Can I add two things here, Bikasita?
Yeah,
First thing is, when people live abroad for so many years, they also language. They also learn the language of the country they live in. So this could be
exactly.
an asset when they move to Sri Lanka and start a business, so they can attract that demographic or serve people from that country. Yeah. The other thing
Especially when
is,
you're into tourism.
yes, yes. And the other thing is, I see so many ads, sponsored ads here on my feed of yoga retreats as a group in Sri Lanka, you know? So
Yes,
I wonder
yes,
why our people are not doing that. I mean, it's easy to find yoga teachers in Sri Lanka for sure. You just have
yes,
to target the ads to different countries, not just in Sri Lanka.
yes.
So these are very minute things people can make
Mhm.
changes of, yeah?
Even meditation instructions, and the
Yes.
Sri Lanka, the one of the main religions in Sri Lanka is Buddhism. So
Mm,
what you can do is, as you said, now yoga instructors, there are plenty of yoga instructors, meditation teachers. You don't need to be a monk to teach the meditation,
mm,
right? For
mhm,
foreigners, if
mhm,
you could practice your own the meditation, you can teach it by yourself, right?
mm, mm,
So you can brush up that skill.
mm.
So, like, and on the other hand, that is good for your own betterment, the wellness of, or the inner peace of your own health.
Yeah, but also there is a growing demand of our spiritual sciences, our in the sense like from the
Exactly.
Indian subcontinent, yeah,
Eastern
like
science, yes.
meditation,
Yes.
yoga, yes, Ayurveda, and all that. Um,
Mm.
okay, because I would also like to add, what about food and beverage? I'm asking you because we are a vegan family, and I think that Sri Lanka has a big collection of originally plant-based food, yeah, but it's not
Yeah, that
marketed
is, yeah.
properly. When I say to people who have been to Sri Lanka as tourists, when they come back and they say, "Oh, Lena, I visited, it's beautiful," then I ask, "Did you try the vegan food?" They're like, "No, it was hardly available because either we have rice and curry huts or the extreme other end of Western food, bland Western food, let's say." So I don't know why nobody is taking this opportunity of showing off the vegan food culture in Sri Lanka and attracting more, because I feel like there's a growth in vegans in the world.
Yeah, we are an agriculture-based the country, as I said earlier. So we
Mm.
can practice it in a better manner than others, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Just like India and all, because of their
Yeah.
religions and cultures. So we
Mm.
can promote it by our with mixing or mingling it with our own cultures or the food cultures. Culture.
Mm.
Food is one part of the culture, right? Our own culture. So likewise
Yeah.
now, even the region wise, we have different food cultures. Like up country, they
Yes.
have separate set of foods and snacks. So and even when you go to down south, the coastal belt, they have some seafood and other options for the for tourists. And when you
Mm.
go to northern part or northern and eastern part, they have the Muslims and they have the separate set of the food. And
Mm.
there are vast or the wide range of varieties in the food.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
likewise, you can experience multicultural foods in Sri Lanka when you go around
Yeah.
for a trip or a vacation. When you are in
Mm.
vacation in Sri Lanka, so you can experience it. So you can
Yeah.
have it
Somebody has to
for the five
just,
senses, all five senses. Yeah,
yeah, somebody just have to
on the
show the
yeah,
foreigners what the differences are and make them experience it. Yeah.
exactly.
Yes. So Vikasita, what about education? Do you feel like Sri Lanka now or in the future will have demand of education? Let's say someone, a Sri Lankan or an expat who've been an educator in another country and he's trying to do
Yes, now
something in Sri Lanka.
now for example, now when you take those days, now when I was uh, occupying with my higher studies, there were a number
Mm,
of students from Maldives and India, even
mm,
Singapore, those days,
mm-hmm,
right? This
mm-hmm,
is like 17 or 20 years ago, right?
mm,
And most of Maldivian students, they come to Sri Lanka for higher studies and even
mm,
for the go for the A-level classes and all. For
mm-hmm,
the international schools, there are plenty of international schools in Colombo, and they have
mm,
these EdXL and Cambridge qualifications and these exams. and even after the schooling, once they are completed schooling, so they can go for the higher studies in Sri Lanka. And most of affiliated universities or affiliated institutes in Sri Lanka, they are affiliated with UK and USA universities as well as the Australian universities. So
Mm.
without being there and without going to Australia, let's say Monash, they have the authorized partner in Sri Lanka. There are two or three universities or the institutes in Sri Lanka, authorized university, the institutes in Sri Lanka, they offer the internal degrees for the Sri Lankan students.
Mm.
So likewise, the other, I mean, we have got, this, have you gone through the most family friendly countries, the specifications
List.
and the measurements what they have done? So
Mm.
the one crucial part is the education, and then the health,
Mm.
and the
Yeah.
another part is the cost of living,
Mm.
and especially the child care, the cost of living and the cost for the child care.
Mm.
So those are the main factors they have considered to
Mm-hmm.
keep the Sri Lanka as number one family friendly destination.
Mm-hmm. So because it's the
So
one thing
there's no doubt
I
about the quality education. Yes.
Mm-hmm. One thing I observed after starting this channel is that I have so many viewers from the Tamil diaspora. I mean, the diaspora word
Mm.
is associated negatively, unfortunately, in
Mm,
Sri
mm.
Lanka, but they
Yes.
are just
Yes.
like us, Sri Lankans,
Mm,
who went
mm.
abroad for unfortunate
They
reasons, but
belong
they
to
want to come
different
back
races,
and move
different.
on.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when we talk about Jaffna or the northern region, what kind of do you
Mm.
think the business opportunities are different there?
Exactly. You have to get the maximum contribution from them. The
Hmm.
people who are living in northern part,
Hmm.
that's why I told they have different cultures, they have different food cultures, they have different beliefs, rituals, and all. So you have to
Yeah.
mingle it. End of the day, we all are Sri Lankan. We are
Yes.
representing the country of Sri Lanka, right?
Yeah.
And if you take Sri Lanka as the brand, we are the brand ambassadors. So we are the brand representatives, right? We
Mm.
are the receptionists for the world, right? So what you have to do is you have to get the maximum contribution from each and every part of this country. So
Mm.
doesn't matter whether it is northern part or the eastern, southern, western, or the hill country. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to get the maximum contribution or the maximum involvement, interference for
Mm.
this purpose,
Yeah. My question
the
is for
tourism or
those
whatever the
who
industry.
for those who left from that region and want to come back and contribute to that region, which we have to agree that is still underdeveloped, unfortunately. What are the ideas you see only in the north? Tourism, maybe yes. What else?
You have to I am actually expecting this government will take close consideration about developing their infrastructure and then the
Mm-hmm.
accessibility, especially
Mm.
the transportation and all, proper
Yeah.
train, railway, and then the roads and domestic airlines for from Colombo or Gold to Jaffna, right?
Mm.
So
Mm.
without taking much time, if you take like buses, you will take more than 6 hours to be there,
Yeah.
right? That is why hardly tourists go there. So when you
Mm.
have domestic airline or such transportation, they don't think twice. They will definitely take a tour to uh, northern part. So even
Mm-hmm.
northern part, they are the people who are living in north. They haven't been to Colombo, Galle. Most of people, right?
Yes.
They
Yes.
haven't come out of from the northern the region. So they
Mm.
have this the opportunity for them to travel Colombo and other cities in Sri Lanka. So
Mm. The domestic
witness
tourism.
them what are the domestic tourism. There are plenty of people. I have met them during my visits to Japan and all. So even
Mm.
each and every part of the island, yeah, you don't believe there are remote areas, even the Sinhala Buddhist people who are living in the southern region, and then the Uva province, the small
Mm.
kids even and the youth haven't been to Colombo yet.
Mm. Wow.
It's a very pathetic situation. There are remote
Yes.
areas, they don't have proper signal, they don't have proper transportation, the transport facilities, there's no infrastructure, so they are not well exposed or well educated and
Mm.
underprivileged children.
Mm. Yeah.
You can practice the community empowerment with the tourism or whatever the thing. You can practice it as the brand story. You can create a brand story like community empowerment and all. So
Mm.
when you spend this much of money or when you purchase our product, there's a behind story. We will
Mm,
help the women empowerment or the community empowerment, and we are helping underprivileged children to have a good quality education.
mm-hmm,
Likewise, you can combine it with with the product or the services through
mm,
marketing, by
mm-hmm,
creating a brand story, separate brand story.
mm. Yeah, and also I see not so much, but there's an emerging what do you say trend of Tamil diaspora coming to Jaffna and making content about the villages, about their families, the
Yeah.
lost houses or whatever. So I think if they can do it in a positive way, it will attract
That
more
is very
tourists
effective.
too.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Even
So,
our programs, I have you have heard it, I guess. We told most of Sri Lankans, if you are living in a rural area or suburb,
mm-hmm.
or semi-urban, what we say is you take your mobile phone out of your pocket and you start recording your places and the most
Yes,
marketable places. Explain
yes.
the importance of these places and just share it to the Facebook or whatever the social media platform and let them to reach your foreigners, the potential
Yeah.
tourists of Sri Lanka.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good idea. So we could see
Yeah.
the coming back to this business discussion. Now, yes, we were talking about mostly the people in Europe or the West who've been in good jobs and probably saved a significant amount of money. But let's talk about the people who are in the Middle East who are just there for there temporarily and have very little saving. And I want to emphasize on those, let's say, the house helpers or cleaners and such who have very little saving, who are probably 50 plus and want to come and do something in Sri Lanka with a small budget they have. What ideas do you see for them?
See, you don't need to, if you are spending smartly, you don't need to spend much. Right?
Mm,
Now, if you could do a small feasible analysis by your own,
mm,
or before you come, or even after you are coming to Sri Lanka, by witnessing or experiencing the current economical situation and the more opportunities that has been arise for the past few months. So
mm,
likewise, now you can have your own idea of what would be the ideal the investment. I mean, when you can, if you could put small investment without taking any loan or lease, I mean,
mm,
going
mm,
for
mm,
a,
mm,
debt. So you can have your own small portion of your earnings and invest it to like home-based businesses. Like for
mm,
example, if you can have your own the snacks. Now, for example, there are people who are practicing or you are running businesses like the dehydrated fruits and vegetables. Now,
mm,
dehydrated fruits and vegetables, there are plenty of suppliers for the market, but they don't have such good brands,
mm.
right? So none of
Yeah.
them are focusing on the brands. They are just putting a product without proper
Mm-hmm.
branding, right?
Yeah.
That is not effective. Now, if you could have these fruits and vegetables like in a dehydrated manner, what they can do is they can package it in a proper way, and they can have a good logo and attract to put a the attack or develop a brand, a creative brand story, and then
Mm,
you can market it by your own yourself, right?
mm-hmm,
For
mm-hmm.
I mean, you can put it to the market in a different manner. Such in now you can position it as the snack. You can have it while watching movie in your theater,
Yeah.
right? Even if when you are mingled with the friends, you can have it as a snack, right?
Mm,
So likewise, you can differently position them.
mm.
You can cater for the different markets, different segments. First of all, you have to do a proper market research or the analysis. What are the
True.
opportunities and what are yes, and also the external factors and all.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's where you come in, right? So, Vikasita, I have a kind of like a controversially silly question. The question is, why do you think there is a lack of interest in business in amongst the youth in Sri Lanka? Now, I have answers for you. You have to pick. Number one is laziness. Second is lack of capital. Third is lack of ideas. And the fourth one is difficult government procedures and lack of support from the government. Which one do you think it is?
Earlier, it was the fourth one, which you said the lastly lack of government
Hmm.
support and all the procedures.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have now the recently appointment government and the minister of
Hmm.
the small and medium entrepreneurs. So
Hmm.
what here now they have gone for a new concept like one-stop shop concept. Like they have initiated a small institution where they could cater all the requirements of the small and medium entrepreneurs and
Mm,
people who are getting their foot into the entrepreneur of the business. So they will help them out, and
mm,
they have reached it island wide now through
mm, mm,
the age officers and all. There are
mm,
representatives of the government servants now, so they are helping them out, and
mm,
the most of on the young entrepreneurs and the people, the potential youth, they are getting the consultation and proper guidance and the support
mm,
from the current government. That is one
mm,
positive thing I can say. And on the other hand, the crucial the issue is the capital.
mm.
Most of youth, they are struggling to find the good enough capital to have their own business or start their own
Mhm.
business, right?
Yeah.
For that purpose, the government has identified it. So now they are in the process of uh, having a bank or setting up a bank to offer loans
Mm-hmm.
for such people without having any
Okay.
deed,
Okay.
and you don't have to sign any witness for them,
Ah, nice.
right? So there won't be any guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
So without
That
guarantee,
would
you
be
will
helpful.
offer yes.
Okay. What
So
about
all you
ideas?
need
How
is
can
have a,
a young person find new business ideas?
well, that is what we have been doing actually, Lena. Even you do right now.
Yes.
So we are sharing opportunities and what are the most the feasible industries in Sri Lanka to invest. So we are generously and openly sharing it with our audience, and
Mm.
even in the government, they have started having some few seminars island wide. So
Oh.
educating the general public, especially the youth and especially the school leavers. And from the school level, they are start. Empowering children for the entrepreneurship and all.
Oh,
So
that's a must.
I would like to propose the Sri Lankan government, if they could, especially the education department, if they could introduce entrepreneurship as the one main subject stream for A level. We have commerce, we
Yes.
have art, we have IT now, we
Mm-hmm.
have combined maths, biology, but there's no entrepreneurship base. I mean, the
Yes.
one main subject as the entrepreneurship. You have
Yeah.
now, if you take commerce, financial accounting, or the accounting, so that is the
Mm.
commerce subject. But end of
Mm.
the day, you won't get any entrepreneurship degree or a certificate, right, from the
Mm.
university. So what you have,
Mm-hmm.
you can go for you can introduce for those children the practical entrepreneurship subjects, maybe 3 or 5 subjects as an elective subject stream for the main subject
Mm-hmm.
stream for the A level students.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's
Yeah.
the best time to implement it. Now, for example, in Sri Lankan education industry, they don't have proper plan to guide Sri Lankan students of them to pick the A level stream based on the
Mm.
market demand and their
Mm.
skills,
Mm.
matching their
Yeah.
own skills, the student skills, and the market demand. However,
Mm.
how much you are skilled in art or let's say archaeology, but there won't be any market demand in Sri Lanka right now. So there's no
Yes.
point
Yes.
of studying archaeology in your university degree or whatever the higher studies thing. So you
Yeah.
have to educate them. These are the market demands. These are the job markets. So these are the most potential areas for you to invest or you to start your own business. So then the students in all level, like 17 or 17 plus students, they know where to pick, what to pick, and where should I go. They have the
Yes.
vision. Now there's a good demand, there's a good recognition, and there's a potential. So then
Yeah.
my future won't be at risk. So
Mm.
they have this credibility, they have this assurance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it from the
Wikasitha, can I
government.
add
So the government
something
has to
here?
contribute. Yeah.
Um, if someone or anyone at all would see this, I just want to say one thing I saw in European education system, or I don't know about the other countries, but in Spain, they have merged all the subjects like we teach differently, separately, like social studies, history, geography, blah blah, together, and they're teaching a little bit of politics, the basics, what the kid needs to know, and then about the geography and about the responsibilities as a citizen, and what you can get as a citizen, your rights as a citizen, and human rights, and all this as one subject. So it's easy to grasp and also interesting and always changing. I find this like a very good concept. Here we can add entrepreneurship, money management for our kids, don't you think? which is also
Exactly, exactly.
an
And
important
Lena,
skill.
one thing, and what you said was now the political subjects.
Mm,
They have included it Sri Lanka, for example, in Sri Lankan history, along with Sri Lankan history, you can, but there's there won't be. I mean, you have to teach them the Sri Lankan history, politics, yeah, good enough, and
mm.
with that, how are you going to take the right decisions, critical decisions.
Yes.
You have to have a proper political literacy
Mm,
if you are raising I mean the kid in an independent manner. So
mm.
that kid has to have the proper political literacy, to whom I should
Yes.
vote, to whom I should neglect or ignore,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
My
it
rights
should be
and
done
my
much earlier. Yeah,
responsibilities. Yes.
responsibility and all. And they
True.
have the where should I stand against the
Yes.
corruptions and all
Mm.
done by
Yes.
past politicians and yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Vikasita, the last question from you would be, let's come back to us. For Sri Lankans who are trying to move or planning to move to Sri Lanka, what should they first consider before leaping into anything?
I'm glad that you asked this at the as the final question because this can can be considered as a take home from today's interview. The one main point,
Mm,
right?
mm,
So
mm-hmm,
Lena, now there are most of clients who have come across many
mm,
people who are living in abroad and they are investing for the businesses in Sri Lanka without having proper analysis of feasibility
very true.
study. So yes, and even if they are physically appearing here, they just they just spend and waste their hard-earned money
Mm,
for the gray areas in Sri Lankan industries, the
mm,
business in the platforms, right? Now, for example, you should not get get trapped to these investment options like illegal investment options, right?
scams.
For example, now there are scams exactly. That is the term you should use. The
Mm-hmm,
scams which are not registered under central bank or under any of the acts released by them. So
mm,
there are people who have wasted their hard-earned money through these scams, right?
mm,
First and foremost, you should get aware of these, and you should not get trapped for these scams and the people who are promoting scams, right? Second, if you are interested of investing on a business, you have to do a small external analysis, like what are the
mm,
potential area, the market size, the available market, the market analysis, what are the customer trends. Now, for example, if you take comparatively now, before the economic crisis, the people's behavior was different. Now it's
mm,
totally different. And even the
mm-hmm,
pre-COVID situation and post-COVID, during the COVID situation and then the post-COVID situation, there are three stages, right?
mm,
Three eras. All these three eras differ to one each, one to other, right? So likewise, you have to identify the customer trends, the market trends, or the market potential. What are the sub-markets and the market size of your if you are I mean, for example, if you are planning to open a restaurant in your on the area or
mm,
your hometown, you should
mm,
aware about the market size. How many
mm,
vehicles passes that place? How many
mm,
pedestrians passes that place? And how many
mm,
people? I mean, roughly how many people bring lunch from their home and the home cooked meals, and how many people are eating outside, right? Getting
mm,
their lunch or the dinner from outside. So you have to have this rough idea about this the market size, right?
mm,
And
mm,
then I know that what would be the total market and what would be the most potential market for me out of
mm,
this total market. So likewise, you have to have the market analysis and then the competitor analysis. Who are the competitors in the same industry now? If you take now, we have told that uh, it's better to have the luxury aged care home. You can do a small competitor analysis about who are the aged care luxury aged care homes now in Sri Lanka, and what
mm,
do they offer, what are their audiences, what about their packages, prices, the rates and all, what kind of exclusive and the unique selling propositions each of them having. So likewise, you can do a competitor analysis and
and what
then
I can
you
I
know
do differently from them? Yeah.
exactly you have to find your own unique selling proposition. You have to create it, which
Mm,
the unique selling proposition is what the competitors right now not offering for the market, and then
mm,
the consumers want it, but yeah, that is not available in the market, and what you can offer them as the best. what
Mm.
you are good at offering.
Mm.
So you can create
Mm-hmm.
a unique selling proposition of yours, right? That is where you stand out from the rest. And
Mm.
then the environmental analysis, the industry analysis, what are the technological trends, economical trends. Now these government, they have opened up the new budget, they have come up with a new budget, and there are, this US government that is also affecting us. Now the Donald Trump has taken some bold straightforward decisions. So those are
Mm.
affecting for our Sri Lankan economy as well as the export market of ours.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
likewise, you have to be more concerned and cautious about these international the trends as well, the political situations and all. And
Yes.
then the most crucial part, upon the market research or the environmental or the background analysis, you can create a brand story from the scratch, like
Mm.
from the grassroots level, maybe from the logo by selecting the colors, taglines, and everything, the core message, the brand promise you want to convey for the customers, and what are the product portfolio you are going to offer. Because your product portfolio has to be more productive and a profitable product portfolio. If there are any
Mm-hmm.
laggards like the slow performing product, because however how much you are good at or manufacturing a product, but there won't be any demand in the market. The customers don't
Mm-hmm.
want it.
Yeah.
So what's the point of manufacturing and putting it to the market? End of the day, you
Yeah.
will become a failure,
Mm.
right? Waste of money, right? So you have to aware of your industry, market, customers, and everything. So based on those findings, you can start your marketing path and then have a
Mm.
proper business or the marketing plan. The business plan goes beyond the marketing plan. Then you
Mm.
can have this KPI setting your own key performance indicators. These are the achievements to be set for the next 5 months or 6 months or next year or so. So then you
Mm-hmm.
can achieve one by one by execution plan. So you
Mm-hmm.
can start proceeding with your own plan. So
Mm-hmm.
likewise, you have to do some. Without proper plan, you should not get your foot into the business. That is one piece of
Yeah.
advice, one main advice I could give you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What about Vikasita? What about let's say someone is not into business at all? There are people like that, yeah. But
Hmm.
they do want to get some revenue when they start the life in Sri Lanka. Is there any option for that?
Now, see, most of people they have the Colombo Stock Exchange. They have invested a lot,
Mm.
especially the
Mm-hmm.
Sri Lankan expatriate community and even the locals, the people who are getting monthly salaries. They have invested on Colombo Stock Exchange and they get good enough return. Some
Mm.
trading like gambling. Should not
Mm.
use the word gambling, but they are trading. Actively trading, buying
Mm.
and selling daily or weekly basis, and some have got a lot of shares from the stock market and keep it as the dividends funds, right? So they
Mm.
gain the dividend, they gain it from the dividends. So likewise,
Mm-hmm.
that is very reliable investment option for Sri Lankans, the
Mm.
stock exchange.
Could fixed deposit also be an option for these kind of people, especially
Comparing to
those who are
Colombo
coming
Stock
from the
Exchange,
Middle East?
I won't recommend your money is secured, but they
Mm.
won't get any considerable amount as return.
Mm-hmm. It's very limited, yeah.
It is
Also,
very
probably it
limited.
fluctuates with the
The government
situations.
decisions and all
Mm.
currently, yes, currently. So those days people used to buy some dollars and keep them until that the rate goes higher, but we can't expect it right now because there won't
True.
since our economy is getting stabilized, you can't expect
Yeah.
those kind of dollar hike. So
Yeah.
the rate hike in very recent manner. So what you can do is, as I could see, the most potential investment option right now is Colombo Stock Exchange. You don't need to
Okay.
trade, but you can buy and keep few shares where these most profitable companies or the companies who have got the most capitalization in the stock market by
Mm.
analyzing their the P&L accounts and all. So the
Mm.
annual reports and all, or else you can have your own instructor from there. And there are stock
Mm-hmm.
brokering firms from there. You can get instructors or the advisors, the investment advisors. You can follow their guidelines and do the investments, and that's
Mm-hmm.
very secured and legal, the process of investment, the
Okay.
opportunity in Sri Lanka.
Yeah. Vikasita, you just mentioned that the government came up with a new budget and it's approved, yeah, as I understand. Are you optimistic about it? Just maybe yes or no answer.
Of course, I actually would like to see this as a budget, a very prospectus potential and the futuristic budget. And
Mm-hmm.
there are few things, few points that I have. Firstly, I haven't heard of these. They have uh, invested or allocated budget on these handicaps and the prisoners, the empowerment of their lives, and they are well giving good education or rehabilitation for the prisoners. And when they they get released from the prisons, you have to keep them as a good citizen, right? You
Mm.
should never discriminate him when you go for a
Yeah.
job or whatever the things is. So they
Yeah.
have considered it, and they have started investing or allocating money for them, and as
Mm.
well as the children, these handicapped children, especially the autism, the children who suffer from autism, such
Yeah.
diseases. So they have
Yeah.
allocated some money. Very rarely we hear or we listen such words in budgets previously.
Mm.
We hardly got to know those words, or we haven't come across those terms in previous budgets. But this budget,
Mm.
that is where I could see as some of the humanitarian budget they have considered about the children or the younger generation and the prisoners, those type of underprivileged people. Uh,
Mm.
uh, and from the other hand, they have allocated money on the research and development, especially the digital economy,
Mm.
like the robotics, artificial intelligence, robotic science, data science,
Right.
and this current government, they were struggling, this rice mafia and other few this thing, and they have got this shortage in rice, coconut, salt very recently. Those are the essential commodities because they didn't have proper data, market data. The market
Mm.
demand is this much and our supply is this much, so we have
Mm.
the shortage of this much. And where should we invest and how much we should produce to
Mm.
bridge the gap between the shortage and the demand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the supply, right? So likewise, they have invested on the market research. That is very crucial, this thing, and the president has himself told his speech during the parliament when he was presenting the budget or after the
Mm-hmm.
budget debate. So considerable amount he has. Also, he is going to set up a separate institution for this market research or the gathering proper market data.
Mm.
So that is one thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then the artificial intelligence, robotic science, and all. So the
And like you
cashless payment,
mentioned,
digital economy,
support for small businesses, right?
small
Or new
businesses.
businesses.
Yes, yes. He has himself mentioned that is the heart of this nation, the small
Mm.
businesses.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is why they have gone for the one-stop shop concept. There are five major institutions. I can't remember by name now. There are five
Mm-hmm.
major institutions. They were located differently in Colombo, and they
Mm.
most of them they don't aware about their own job roles on those
Mm.
they whom to cater, and even a small and medium entrepreneur don't know where should I go and get this service. So now
Mm.
what they have done is they have introduced a one stop shop concept for this. They have taken all the institutions into one building and offer this
Mm.
as the holistic service,
That's great. Yeah. Sounds
integrated service.
like there's going to be a positive change. And as
Exactly.
people who are returning with what we learned from working or living abroad, I hope we could contribute something too to educate and also to bring some dollars, as we say, dollar gain on it. Because see, I would like to add something again on the point of tourism. Now, currently, I live in a Spanish touristy island. It's mainly for tourists,
Mhm.
and this place has like it's very hikey, I mean, you have to hike to go to get to anywhere. But
Mhm.
smartly enough, most shops, they have bicycles and those motored bicycle, not bicycle, but like a small tuk-tuk for elderly people who cannot walk, or people with special
Mhm.
needs who cannot walk, or
Mhm.
cannot orient themselves, with remotes and everything. I didn't see this in Sri Lanka. Imagine the
Exactly.
opportunities, because people in retiring age, they would like to first come to Sri Lanka to even decide if they want to be there or no. You know what I mean? So if we can
Yes. No,
facilitate this kind of movement, free movement, vehicles for free
you have
movement
to. Yes.
within Sri
Yes.
Lanka. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Even now, for example, now maybe senior citizen or a disabled person, you have to facilitate them. End of the day, they are
Yes.
paying for as the tourists to come to Sri Lanka,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So you have to consider about them and giving this. There should not be. You should not discriminate them without giving any facilities for them. The accessibility is the main thing you should consider
Very
when you are
important.
catering them. And then
Yes.
people who can't see, who can't read, you can have these braille menus and all in your restaurant's menu, and you can have those people and who can't speak properly. You can
Mm.
have your own people who could give exclusive service from the
Speak
airport
spine
itself.
languages. Yeah.
Yes,
Sign
from the
language.
airport itself you can assign them. So likewise you
Mm.
can cater them in a different
Yeah.
manner, but without letting them feel different.
Yes. Yes. Very interesting and positive conversation, Vikasita. Last thing I want to ask you, how can the viewers reach you if they want any of what you said from you?
Well, any of who is interested of getting our service as the consultant, so we can give them the proper consultation or the conduct proper market research or feasible study. So
Mm.
they can reach us via LinkedIn or also the Facebook account, the Facebook, the Messenger. So they
Mm-hmm.
can communicate with us or liaise with us at any time.
Okay, okay, beautiful. Okay, Vikasita, thank you for your time, and I hope all your plans succeed. And also wish us good, and we will surely can make use of your expertise. Thank you for being here.
Yeah,
Bye
most
bye.
welcome. Thank you very much for having me. Bye.